Hey there, the purpose of this video is just to give you a quick classroom tour, and we have lots of new students this year, and we also have a new look to our online high school. So I just wanted to take about 5 minutes and show you where everything was located in the online high school. Every day that you log into class, you want to make sure you check your email, and you also want to make sure that you check the class announcements. You can find the class announcements right here in the center of the online classroom. I went ahead and I posted a sample announcement for you to take a look at. And so in the announcements, we're going to post the weekly schedule for you guys every Monday or Tuesday if we end up having a holiday on a Monday. So you'll want to make sure that you check that every single week so you know what to expect. We'll also put other things in the announcements as well. We'll post videos for you to the announcement section. We'll give you any sort of update to the schedule. If we had to make a last minute change, the announcements is going to be the place that you go to. And we'll also give you extra resources. So if we're completing an essay or a research paper, you're going to want to check the announcement section frequently throughout the week because we're going to be providing you guys with good resources that you can use to help you complete your assignments. So make sure you check the announcement section every time that you log into class. Right now I just have one sample announcement posted here for you, but as the year progresses, you'll have tons and tons and tons of announcements. And you'll be able to go back and reference those if you want to take a look at an announcement from, earlier on in the school year. You should be able to go back and look for that. Right now I just have one posted, but eventually there'll be more, and you can always click on Show All Announcements, and that will pull up all of the announcements that we've had. So just kind of keep that in mind. In addition to the announcement section, every time that you log in, you'll want to check the class plan area. The class plan area is going to be your guide for what you need to complete every single day. We load all of the lessons into the class plan area, and we also load the assignments. It's really important that you go directly into each of your classes and you look at that class plan area. Don't just go to your homepage that lists all of your classes, because that's just going to list your assignments that are due. It's not going to list the actual lessons that you have to complete as well. So you want to make sure that you log in and go directly to each of your classes, and that you check that class plan area. In addition to completing the assigned work that's graded, you also need to complete the online lesson. So if you take a look at this class plan, this is our first week of school. And so on September 4th, the only thing you have assigned is course materials. On the 5th, you just have to attend the Class Connect for this particular class. But then here on September 6th, we get our first lesson. Now, this is going to look different depending on what course you are in. You're going to have different lessons assigned. This is an American Lit course. So if you're taking English 208, your classroom is set up the exact same way. You're just going to see different lessons populating right here and different announcements over here. But for the sake of this example, right here on Wednesday, September 6th, the assigned lesson is lesson 1.01 and 1.02. So all you need to do then is you'll click on the lesson that's assigned, and it's going to take you directly to that lesson. Here I've written a little note, and then you have to complete every single part. So just make sure that when you're completing your online lessons that you're completing every single part of them, that you're doing all of the required reading. You want to make sure that you scroll to the very bottom of the page, that you get every single section of that lesson. So here I clicked on the very first part. I want to make sure I read through all of this. And then you'll want to click the arrows, and those arrows right here at the top, they will guide you through your entire lesson. You just want to make sure that you go through each page, that you do all of the reading that's there, and that you complete any activity that's there for you as well, whether it's graded or not graded. A lot of times you'll have to use a student guide, or you'll have notes that you need to take. You want to make sure that you download those materials and that you complete the tasks that you're being assigned. Sometimes you turn them in, sometimes you don't. So you want to make sure that you're doing them. Whether or not they're graded, they are important to the lesson and your success in this course. So just want to give you one more reminder. Just make sure you click through everything in the lesson and make sure you really take your time. As a teacher, we can see your progress, so we can see how long it took you to complete the lesson, and we can see how long it took you to complete each slide. So if you contact us because you really struggled on a quiz and you want to retake it, or you want to know why you didn't do really well on that quiz, one of the first things that we do is we go and we take a look at the online lesson and how much time you spent in it. So if it looks like you clicked through and it took you 20 seconds to do the lesson, we're going to have you go back and we're going to have you redo that lesson. So just make sure that you thoroughly complete it the first time through and that you click through every single part and complete all of the assigned sections to that lesson. Okay, going back to our class homepage, I've told you a little bit about the announcements. I've talked to you about the class plan area. A couple other areas that you want to be aware of are the content area. You'll notice up here you have all of the different sections of the online high school. We just looked at the class plan down here, but you can also click right here and you can bring yourself to the class plan. And it's just going to look a little bit different. In fact, you can look at it through a month view, you can do a day view, you can do a week view. This is the month view of American Lit. So, but in addition to the plan, we also have this content tab. Now, all of your lessons are going to be located on the class plan, and they're going to be assigned there, so you know exactly when you're supposed to do what. But if you click on the content tab, you'll also see all of the units that we have throughout the year. And so if there's ever a time when you need to go back and review a lesson, you can always go to the content section right here and you can choose your unit. So here's unit 1. And then you can choose whatever lesson it is that you want to review. Also, when you're looking at the content section, it will tell you if you've completed the lesson or not. So here it's saying, 10% has been completed. So 3 of the 30 required topics has been completed here in Unit 1. So that's also just kind of a good way for you to gauge, where you're at in the course. Okay, in addition to content, the progress tab is really important. Right now, I am just viewing this as a student, but the course hasn't been completed, no grades have been put in, so you're not seeing anything on the screen. However, once you start completing work and you start getting feedback from teachers and you start getting graded items, you will see your progress. It will tell you your grade in the class. It should also tell you where you're at in terms of completing course materials. Another thing it's going to tell you in the progress tab is going to tell you what you have missing, and it's going to tell you your grade. I think I might have already said that, but it will tell you what you have missing underneath progress. So if you have any missing assignments, you'll easily be able to find those underneath the progress tab. It should also tell you your missing assignments immediately when you log into the course. Right now there isn't any, but you should probably see that, I think either here under class updates, or it might be more in the center, but you should see a little notification that tells you how many missing assignments you have. Of course, the goal is to have none, but if by chance you fall behind, you should see that there. If you don't see it when you log in, click over here to progress, and you will see it there. Another important area of the online high school that you need to know is the grades section. So if you click on grades, it's going to pull up your grade book. You should be able to scroll through and you can see all of the graded items. If it has a dash, it hasn't been graded yet, or maybe you haven't turned it in yet. If it has a 0, then that means it's missing, you haven't completed it, or maybe you did turn it in, but you actually turned in the wrong thing, or you turned in a blank sheet of paper on accident. That's why you're going to see a 0 over here. Make sure you're checking the grades tab frequently. I would try and check it once a day or every other day. As teachers, sometimes we do make mistakes. If you see a 0 that shouldn't be there, by all means, send a quick email to your teacher and find out what's going on. Also, you just want to be aware of where you're at in the class and what you have that's missing or what you have that you need to resubmit. So definitely check your grade tabs on a regular basis. Up here, you're not seeing anything right now, but once you have graded items in there, you will see what your grade is at that point in time. You should see a point value as well, so you can figure out how many points you have versus how many points have been given out for the course. Okay, one more area I want to chat with you guys about is the tools section. If you click on tools, you're going to see a lot of different tabs. One of these tabs is called assignments. Whenever you have an assignment that's due where it needs to be teacher graded. So maybe it's a writing assignment or it's a lab that you've done. You're going to upload it here to the assignments box. However, you will also see that on your class plan when it's due. So you'll see it come up on your class plan when it's due, and there'll be a section for you to click on to upload your assignment. But you can also access it here through assignments. So if you just click on assignments, you'll be able to select the assignment. I'm just going to select this first one here. And then from there, you will be able to check out the rubric if a rubric is being used to grade it. And then you'll be able to add a file. So you'll be able to add your assignment. You'll add it. You can write a note to your teacher if you want to, and then you'll hit submit. Once that happens, the teacher gets a notification that your assignment has been submitted, and now they can grade it. So that's an important area to be aware of. In addition, if you go to tools, you'll also see that you can go to discussions. You can go look at your announcements as a whole. You can look at groups if your teacher is using groups. So really knowing what's in the toolbox is important. I would just make sure you kind of play around in there and get to know it. Okay, this was longer than I intended and I apologize, but hopefully you have a solid understanding of your online classroom. Again, it doesn't matter if you're in American Lit or English 208 or another classroom, everything is going to look the same. So please let us know if you guys have questions. One more thing I forgot to note is your Class Connect sessions will show up here as well. So right here, in the center of your screen, you'll be able to find your Class Connect sessions, and you'll just be able to click on them and attend them. So it should be easy peasy. Okay, I hope that you guys have a good start to your school year or your semester. Please let your teachers know if you guys have questions about any of this or you're having a hard time finding things. Thank you guys so much for watching.